The mad story is a story of testimony and motivation, a story of patience and endurance. If you have not joined our channel, do so by touching on the bell to join our channel for more motivating stories. Chike once walked the polished floors of a prestigious bank with confidence. His suits were sharp, his shoes always shining, and his future looked secure. Customers trusted him, colleagues respected him, and his family spoke of him with pride. Among his colleagues was Olufemi, a smooth talker who always had big ideas and bigger promises. Chike, this is an opportunity you can't miss, Olufemi had said one afternoon, lowering his voice like a man sharing treasure. Just take the 15 million naira loan. We will invest it together, flip it quickly, and repay before anyone notices the stress. You will double your income in months. At first, Chike hesitated. He had built his reputation on discipline and integrity, but Olufemi's confidence combined with the dream of quick financial freedom slowly weakened his resistance against his better judgment. He signed the papers. What followed was a nightmare. The investment failed. Olufemi disappeared into silence, dodging calls and avoiding responsibility. The loan repayment piled up like dark clouds. Soon, the bank discovered irregularities tied to Chike's account. The same institution that once praised him now summoned him to disciplinary hearings. Within weeks, Chike lost his job. The day he packed his belongings into a small carton, his hands trembled. The security guard who once saluted him now watched him leave like a stranger. His world collapsed in silence. With nowhere else to go, Chike returned to stay with his elder sister and her husband in Surulere. At first, his sister welcomed him warmly. She prepared meals, encouraged him, and assured him that things would get better. Stay strong, Chike, she would say. You will rise again. But as weeks turned into months, hope grew thin. Job applications went unanswered. Savings dried up. The warm smiles slowly faded into signs of frustration. One afternoon, during preparations for a visit from her in-laws, tension filled the house. Chike, go inside the boys' quarters, his sister ordered sharply. I don't want questions about why my younger brother is still jobless. He obeyed quietly, carrying his thin mattress into the boys' quarter. But the humiliation didn't end there. To avoid embarrassment before her guest, she locked the door from outside. Inside that small room, Chike sat on a worn out mat. Hunger twisted his stomach and tears blurred his vision. The man who once signed documents worth millions now sat forgotten on a floor mat, feeling smaller than he ever had felt. That night, lying on the mat, he whispered a prayer. God, if you still remember me, please don't let my story end like this. Days passed. He remained unnoticed, broken but breathing. Then one unexpected afternoon, his phone rang. The number was unfamiliar. Hello, is this Mr. Chike? A female voice asked. Yes, speaking. He replied weakly. Sir, this is Ifoma. You may not remember me clearly, but years ago, when I came to your bank with nothing but a dream, you helped me. You arranged a 1 million naira support that allowed me to start my small business. Sir, that business has grown beyond my imagination. Chike sat upright, his heart racing. I have been searching for you, she continued. I visited your old office and heard what happened. Sir, God placed you in my life when I had nothing. Now it's my turn to stand for you. Tears rolled down Chike's cheeks. Reformer, I only did my job. He whispered. No, sir, she replied firmly. You did more than your job. You believed in me when nobody else did. Within weeks, Ifoma offered Chike a managerial role in her rapidly expanding company. What began as a small business had grown into a thriving enterprise with branches across the city. His experience, integrity, and discipline became valuable again. The day Chike resumed work, he wore a simple suit, not as expensive as before, but heavier with wisdom. Months later, he stood before a congregation during a testimony service, holding a simple woven mat in his hands. This, he said, lifting it high, is the mat I slept on when life humbled me, the mat that held my tears, the mat that witnessed my prayers, the mat that reminds me that when people forget you, God still remembers. The hall fell silent. My sister once locked me in a boys' quarter because I was jobless. He continued calmly. But today, God has lifted me beyond shame. The same God who allowed me to help a former remembered me through her. Never despise small acts of kindness. They may become your rescue tomorrow. He smiled, eyes shining with gratitude. This is why I call this the mat testimony, because sometimes your lowest place becomes the platform for God's highest lifting. And from that day forward, Chike kept the mat, not as a symbol of pain, but as a reminder that grace can find a man even on the floor, and destiny can rise from the dust.